What's going on, guys? So today, which is actually the same day as when I ended the last video, I am taking the girdle off and I'm going to take the piston rod caps, off of the rods, I guess, and just checking the bearings out now. The one bolt was stripped on there and off camera just now. I just finally got it free, so we're good to rip on that. I just threw the girdle off and so far it's looking minty fresh. But before I go through any farther and take the caps off, I'm gonna bring you along with me. So let's get to it. So I just ripped the girdle off of this. Oops. And then these are these main bearings here. And they're looking pretty good, you know, pretty average wear, I'd say. This one has the most, which is not surprising, because on my other engine, that's also the one that gets the most for some reason. I think it has something to do with just how much pressure is put on the crankshaft in a certain direction, like that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these caps off here and check out these rod bearings out. And I do have to say, this smells terrible. This engine has been sitting for a very, very long time, and I can tell it smells. So let's get to taking these off right here. Let's do it. So I'm going to use the head mount on this one. I'm hoping it's going to work fairly well. I'm not entirely sure. The chest mount wouldn't be good because I'm bending over as this engine is on the ground. So we're just going to check out and see how the head mount does for something like this compared to that. Now, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, so this is the really weird thing about these engines here. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I just had it. There it is. These cap bearings, everything on this engine is a 14 or a 12 or a 10. Nothing else. These actually might be a little smaller than a 10. But besides the point, these cap bearings are the weirdest possible size they could be. These cap bearings here are 13s. I don't know what got in Honda's head about that, but that's what they did, and you know, can't do nothing about it. So first cap here, I'm gonna take off. I kind of want to roll it over a little bit. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna be able to do that first off. I don't have the bolt here. It rolls over by hand. I'm gonna do. Oh, dude, it's smooth. I think this engine's good to rip. All right, now I'm really hoping I'm gonna capture this here. Now these will just pop off like so. At least they should. It's good to keep track of which nut came off of which bolt. That's one piece of advice I could give people. So this is going to be that side. It's going to be that side. Oh. Average wear that you'd expect. Nice. That's good to see. Nothing too concerning as of yet. Now, don't worry. I'm going to put some lube on these before I finalizing putting it together. There will be final engine assembly lube on this. But that first one looks good there. All right, onto this one. Now, from what I can tell, this is a completely stock engine. Nothing done to it. It must have been just ran through its paces throughout the years. And from the guy I bought it with, which is his Instagram's Prelude. I'll put it up right here. Prelude. He has a Prelude and it's pretty sick. And yeah, he sold this engine to me here, and he's letting me check it over first before I actually buy it, which is really kind of him. So that excites me. See, these are nice. This is how these should pull off, is just by hand without much effort. These threads kind of get in the way though, which make it a little bit more tough. See, it's coming off, but it's stuck on these dang threads. All right, number 2. Yep, just average wear that you'd expect. Looks nice though. Looks nice. So far, everything's looking really promising. Now you see how none of these main bearings are popping out either? That's a good sign that they're not worn down on that side either. Oops, that one's loose. And that one's loose. Oh yeah, that's exactly how that should come off. Again, normal wear, looks good. It's not down to the coat. That's exactly how it should be on there. That one's gonna go back on. Oops. You know, I do all this talking, then half of it doesn't even go into the stupid video. Now I expect the same exact thing from this one. Now another indicator, if you're looking at one of these engines to buy, to see if any of these rods are bad or if it's spun a bearing or anything. So generally when a rod is bad or when it spins a bearing, they get super, super, super hot, right? Or when you overheat an engine, you can do what's called burning a rod. Now, these are all good, but these will literally turn black. Now, when we take the engine apart on that's already in the car, I'll show you what a burnt rod looks like. These are good looking rods. When I saw this was a great indicator that all of these were good and that the bearings were good. So it's good stuff to know. Say you go to a junkyard and you're inspecting an engine before plopping it out. You don't want to take one that looks bad, because messing with the bad crank is not fun. Because you have to take this entire thing here out to get to the crank. See? It's a little trick if you ever can't get it to budge. Because a lot of times there'll be suction cupped to the journal. Let's see, where's that little... Just take this, give that a little tap. Like that, just a little one. Now you put these bolts on so you don't hurt the threads. You should be able to pop this guy here off. Perfect. Every single one of these is exactly how you want them to look, especially for a used engine. They all look good. Now, I am skipping looking at the other side of it, because usually if one side's bad, the other is going to be bad too, so I'm not worried about it. I think both sides are going to be fine. Now, from everything that I can tell from this engine, this is a stock engine, never been touched before, and it's ready to rip. This excites me. Now, I'm just tightening these up here. I'm going to come back tomorrow, actually, and then I'm going to engine assembly lube all these journals here, because this thing hasn't had oil ran through it in who knows how long. So I'm gonna run just some engine assembly lube on each single one of these, all the journals, everything. Make sure everything's looking pretty nice. Now I got a lot of cleaning up to do on the surface here, just prepare it for the gasket I got going on there. But yeah, everything looks great, actually. Man, I'm impressed at how good everything looks. Now, I'm just going to hand tighten all these down. I'm going to keep the girdle off for tonight. And then I'm going to put this engine on something, because I don't want it on the floor, because this barn's known for flooding. So anyways, go follow my Instagram at RicerFreak if you want to. My friend that sold me this engine, super cool dude, super cool car. I think you'll like it. This is Treelude. I'll put him up here. I always call him Treelude for some reason. But super cool dude. Hoping to get out to some car meets, and I want to run him with this. Hopefully, if you're watching this video, Alex, I'm racing you. H22 versus H22, but weight difference. Anyways, that's going to do it for today's video. If you want to see the budget build that will be happening with this engine. This is as budget as it gets. I'm putting a turbo on this car. This is a budget build. This is pretty cool. This is exciting. This is exciting. I hope you guys can join me along the ride for this. I'll be swapping in this engine. This will be an entire... I'll probably take 2 weeks on doing this and putting it in there. This is budget build. If you want to see how to do it on a budget, a literal, legit budget, follow right now. This will be pretty cool. So anyways, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, good rest of your night, and a good rest of your week. Ricer Freak, peace out.